Rahul Gandhi missing in action? Is he incapable of leading the Congress party as has been suggested by Mohan Singh of the Samajwadi Party? Joining me now, Aarti Ramchandran, whose book Decoding Rahul Gandhi is just out. Vinod Sharma, political editor of the Hindustan Times, and Adam Roberts, South Asia Bureau Chief of The Economist from New Delhi, who's written the article that has also stirred the pot about Rahul Gandhi's problems. Aarti Ramchandran, your book suggests that Rahul Gandhi is someone struggling with the heat and dust of Indian politics. Well-meaning, but out of depth. Is that how you perceive it? Because in your book, unfortunately, you never got to meet Rahul Gandhi. Despite that, you believe that the impression you've got is of a well-meaning but out-of-depth individual. Am I correct?
Certainly a well-meaning individual. You know, the book began with the fact that I actually had a meeting with Rahul Gandhi. Though I didn't meet him for the book itself, right. I actually met Rahul Gandhi at one of his Jan Sabhas. And I wrote as a private citizen to him about, child beggars in Delhi. I was so troubled by the fact that the Delhi government wanted to put them away ahead of the Commonwealth Games. So I wrote to him as a private citizen, and he responded within 2 days. And I was meeting him within the same week. So I was really impressed. I used to cover the Congress party and Rahul for the newspaper I worked. And I was impressed with this young man who, well, he was doing his Discovery of India tours and he seemed to be genuine. So it started like that. But right. Over the years, as I looked at his politics, it became apparent to me that his intentions were good. They were noble. But as far as translating them into politics and making that to translate it into real politics, that was not happening. He was not able to translate those intentions into the heat and dust, the hurly-burly of politics. That's his problem. Because your book says that he's very much caught in the computer technocratic way of life, surrounded by a small coterie of mainly Western educated individuals, perhaps out of touch with, let's say, the heartland of UP. That's the perception that comes through in the book, isn't that? No, I haven't said that he is just surrounded by those people. True, he gets a lot of his advice from those people, but I think one of Rahul's good qualities that I have discovered while writing this book is that he is open to opinion. So he really listens to a lot of people. But what I have encountered is that it is more of a data collection exercise rather than taking those ideas and translating them into political concepts or things that work on the ground. So as a data collection exercise, it is something an organizational consultant would do, which is where the corporate management ideas really come in. Let me turn to Adam Roberts of The Economist. I don't know if you heard Digvijay Singh. Who is Digvijay Singh telling me who is The Economist to tell me what they think about Rahul Gandhi. But be that as it may, Adam, the fact is, you say in your article, the problem is that Mr. Gandhi has so far shown no particular aptitude as a politician, not even sufficient hunger for the job. Is the sense you get that he is a misfit in politics or in Indian politics? I think the sense I have is he doesn't yet know what he wants to do with politics. We don't have a sense of what his ambitions are, what his views are on policy, and whether this is an issue for outsiders or insiders, India matters more and more in the world. Outsiders, whether you're looking from Britain or America or China or anywhere, see that this is a powerful young man. He carries the name of the dynasty that is so powerful in India, and yet we know very, very little about him. He doesn't talk to scholars, he doesn't talk to journalists, he doesn't talk very often to diplomats, he doesn't talk in public. How can we judge whether this man will be good to lead India if we don't know anything about him? And I fear that he doesn't all the time know what he believes himself, and that is why he hides away. And the ultimate question then becomes, if he doesn't know what he wants to do, what is the point of the Gandhi dynasty at all? That's an interesting point, that Adam is making. Rahul Gandhi, Vinod Sharma probably doesn't know what he really wants to do. Would you concede that certainly we don't know till this day what Rahul Gandhi stands for, whether he has the aptitude for politics? And now he's been in politics for 8 or 9 years. It's no longer, he can't be called a debutant anymore.
Could you introduce me to Adam Roberts, because Economist doesn't give bylines, so I didn't know that he wrote it.
Yes, he did.
And secondly, the other part of confusion with me was whether it was a book review or whether it was an independent article.
No, hold on. No, I have asked you a question at the moment. Why are you getting Adam Roberts? Adam Roberts has written his perception of Rahul Gandhi and the article.
We are discussing the article.
Yes, okay.
And I don't think this article is biblical in nature.
Nobody's saying it's biblical.
Neither is any piece of writing without interacting with the dramatis personae, the protagonist.
But the dramatis personae doesn't meet anyone.
No, if it does
what does Rahul Gandhi stand for, Vinod Sharma?
So the point of debate is whether Rahul Gandhi has good media relations, and whether he should reach out to the media and say what he thinks about issues.
So it's not just media, it's parliament, it's meeting the people of the country. None of us know what, it's not just the media. Where is Rahul Gandhi the communicator? In politics you would appreciate, Vinod, you've got to be a communicator.
I think the media's coverage of Rahul Gandhi has been pretty imbalanced. Because when he won, very imbalanced. When he won 21 seats for the Congress party, everybody was celebrating him in UP. I thought it was exaggeration that he was being, all the success was being attributed to him. When Bihar happened and before that, he praised Nitish Kumar. Everybody was at his throat. After that, everybody is praising Nitish Kumar. I think, Rajdeep, that, we should not transmit our impatience to the people we are covering. When Barack Obama was here, everybody is saying, oh, he hasn't talked about Pakistan yet, he hasn't talked about terrorism yet. We were in such a great hurry. I think if we are going to chronicle history in this kind of hurry, we are not going to do any good to future generations.
Sir, I'm asking a simple question, Vinod. 9 years now in politics, and he doesn't reach out to people.
I accuse Rahul Gandhi of absenteeism.
You accuse him of absenteeism?
Yes. And I think that in politics, there is no place for absenteeism, especially when you are faced with politicians who are 24/7 politicians. Unfortunately, nobody had this kind of a scanner placed on Akhilesh Yadav when he lost the election, by-election where his wife contested. But he became chief minister. And we wrote him almost after that. Please.
The reason that Rahul Gandhi is seen as different is because it's almost, as you heard Digvijay Singh virtually saying he should be the next prime minister of the country. Don't I need to know what the prime minister of this country...
may have his point of view. I don't endorse that.
You don't endorse that?
He has to earn that prime minister.
You accept that?
Of course.
Okay.
Every single position a young man gets in politics has to be earned by him. And this is regardless of Rahul Gandhi. It applies as much to any young leader.
Point taken. Aarti, do you see in your interaction with people around Rahul Gandhi that there's a sense of entitlement? He believes he's almost destined to rule this country, and today India has changed, that you can't merely run India because you have this famous family surname. Is that a problem, you think, that has weighed down Rahul Gandhi, perhaps a sense of entitlement?
No, this question is interesting because Rahul's own statements on the issue would suggest that he is very aware that he carries this legacy on his shoulders, and he really wants to keep an arm's length from that entitlement. But unfortunately, while he says he makes these statements, at the same time, he is still the torchbearer of this dynasty. So the two things don't sit together comfortably, and which is the point I make in the book, that yes, he wants to change things, but from the position that he is in, I'm not quite sure if he can do that.
Part of it, and we come to it, Adam, will be, as you said at the start, is that, we are in the age of communication. You've got to communicate today. You can't be imprisoned in the forbidding walls of your house and of power. We are in the age of youthful leaders, Barack Obama, David Cameron, all in their 40s, all great communicators. Is communication, you think, his major problem, looking at it from a Western perspective at a politician, that politicians must be communicators?
I think in two clear ways his communication is very poor. First of all, he doesn't do the nuts and bolts of politicians. He doesn't stand up in Parliament and tell us what he thinks about policies. He doesn't get his hands dirty in the dust of politics, as you've talked about. Secondly, he tries to do gesture politics. So he goes out and he spends half a night at the home of a Dalit in Uttar Pradesh. But I've been back to those homes, as other journalists have done, and talked to those people in those families and asked, well, what was the follow-up? What happened after Rahul Gandhi came and visited your house and ate your food? And they say nothing. Nothing happened after that. It was pure posturing and gesture politics. So we've got nothing. We have neither a politician committed to the policy and the serious economic debates and nuts and bolts of Parliament, nor do we have anyone who's very good at the media and the communication side of things. So the question is, where does Rahul Gandhi fit in this? What's his brand? And I don't think people have an answer to that. And that's why this question of what's the point of Rahul Gandhi is resonating so much this week.
What is the point of Rahul Gandhi? Vinod Sharma, somewhere, it is at one level perhaps a recognition that an era is over, that you can't today survive only on dynasty politics. Yes, dynasty politics will get you up to a point.
After that, you're going to have to prove yourself in the heat and dust of Indian politics. The Mayawatis, the Mulayams, the Nitish Kumars, the Narendra Modis, these are all battling politicians from their state. Rahul Gandhi needs to recognize that, or maybe has recognized that and fears that he's not up to it.
I know I respect Economist greatly as a publication, but I don't think it's my ready reckoner of Indian politics. So long as there is a point to Jagan Mohan Reddy, there will be a point to Rahul Gandhi. So long as there is a point to Akhilesh Yadav, there will be a point to Rahul Gandhi. You see, Indian polity is much different from the kind of polity these people encounter back home. You can't predict tomorrow. You see,
let's not make it India versus West again, because there are Indian journalists who also say more or less the same thing that Adam is.
I'm talking about Indian USP.
Yes.
I'm talking about the Indian USP, and you know it and I know it, that many of the times when we have predicted elections, we have gone abysmally wrong.
Sure.
And at times we have gone startlingly right, like you went right in the case of Mayawati. What is that makes Mayawati click? What great administrator is she? What does she stand for? Other things
These are all 24/7 politicians. Let's be honest.
That's it.
India now needs 24/7 politicians. Is Rahul Gandhi a 24/7 politician?
Yes. You come to the point I made, that if Rahul Gandhi has to be a formidable adversary of these 24/7 politicians for whom it is the bread and butter.
Yes.
Unlike in the case of Rahul, he doesn't seem to be showing that it's his bread and butter. It's about time that he started showing that. And if he does that, I'm sure he'll get his share of successes, which he did in the past in the case of UP, which you attributed to him, but I did not.
Okay, let me put a final question to you, Aarti, since you've written the book. In all your efforts to contact Rahul Gandhi, were you able to, what was the response that you got? You were writing a book about Rahul Gandhi. Did you actually, was he responsive at all, or did he just close himself to the idea that someone is writing a book on him?
No, while I was writing the book, I made several attempts to get in touch with his people and his own, and him directly as well. So at all points, I mean, there was absolutely no response. So finally, before I, sent the book to press, I put down all the questions I had down on a piece of paper and I sent it to him directly, because I felt I owed it to this piece of work, that I needed to do that. But having said that, I must say, though I didn't meet him for the book, I have been covering the Congress party over the years. I have met him at one of his Jan Sabhas. I covered his Bhatta Parsol, the Padayatra, stayed with him over those four days, really, in those villages. So, I mean, it's not like I didn't know what was happening in there, but yes, wow, it would have been great to actually have an interview.
Basically, he's kept a wall around himself, a wall of secrecy. Perhaps it's part of retaining that enigma. Cotton wooling him, whichever way you look at it.
People who want the Gandhi dynasty, Nehru Gandhi dynasty, to be transparent and open and accessible, do not understand the mystique of being far along. And that is what they have tried time and again. Maybe that its time is out.
Yes, that's the point. Maybe that era of that mystique is over.
We can discuss that. We can discuss that. At the same time, we can also discuss the power of silence. You see, the point is, power of silence. Some people may say it is acquiescence, but at times it is not.
We are saying Indian politics. We are saying missing in action. You are saying the power of silence. Two ways of looking at Rahul Gandhi and the power of mystique, or whether India has finally moved beyond these mystiques and wants action at the end of the day. Aarti Ramchandran, Vinod Sharma, as always, a pleasure having you, and Adam Roberts, thank you very much for joining us on our talking point today. Rahul Gandhi missing in action. What do you think? Is he incapable of leading India? Log on to IBNlive.com. Tell us where you stand.